true integrity does not begin with actions. It begins much earlier, in thoughts, in the inner conversations that shape how we interpret and respond to life. What a person repeatedly cultivates within can influence the way they think and relate to others. Patience strengthens the ability to respond with greater calm during difficulty. Gratitude can change the way life is perceived, even in challenging circumstances. Fairness, responsibility, and self-respect contribute to a stronger character, one capable of remaining grounded through uncertainty or disappointment. Over time, when reinforced through repetition, those thoughts become habits. Habits guide reactions. Reactions shape character, and character determines the direction a person chooses to take in life. This is why integrity cannot be reduced to visible behavior alone. Its deepest foundations develop internally, through patterns of thought that influence judgment, values, and emotional responses. The world usually notices actions first: a lie, a betrayal, a promise abandoned for convenience. Yet long before those actions took shape, something within had already been moving in that direction. That is why protecting the mind matters. Every person experiences anger, disappointment, jealousy, frustration, or emotional exhaustion. For this reason, integrity is not the absence of these emotions, but the ability to experience them without allowing temporary emotional states to leave a lasting influence on behavior. And this distinction is particularly important because life inevitably brings situations in which personal values are tested. A colleague may feel anger during a difficult conflict at work and still choose a measured response instead of hostility. A business partner may discover an opportunity to take unfair advantage of an agreement, yet choose to remain honest because temporary gain is not worth lasting damage to character. A son or daughter may strongly disagree with their parents while continuing to speak respectfully, recognizing that disagreement does not remove the responsibility to treat others with dignity. These are the moments when integrity is truly tested, when resentment, pride, or impulsive reactions would be easier to follow. Anyone can behave correctly when there is no pressure, no temptation, and nothing to gain. But when personal advantage stands on one side and principles on the other, the choices people make reveal far more about character than words ever could. Choosing principle can carry a short-term cost: comfort, approval, convenience, or opportunities. But repeated compromise can ultimately cost far more, because everyone must live with themselves, and no success, wealth, recognition, or carefully maintained image can create inner peace in someone who repeatedly compromises their own conscience. It is important to understand that integrity is not tested only through major decisions. It also reveals itself in ordinary moments, in choices so small that they can easily be dismissed as insignificant. Returning money despite knowing it could easily have been kept. Protecting a friend's private conversation instead of turning vulnerability into gossip. Remaining loyal to a partner even when temptation arises. Speaking respectfully to parents after a difficult day instead of directing frustration toward those closest to us. Choosing not to diminish someone more vulnerable simply because power makes it possible. These choices may appear small, but when repeated across years, they become part of a person's identity. People with integrity tend to build stronger friendships because others feel safer placing their trust in them. And equally important, they develop a deeper sense of self-respect. The inner stability that comes from knowing their values remain intact even when life becomes difficult. Ultimately, integrity is not an image. It is alignment between thoughts, words, and actions. The consistency between what a person believes, what they promise, and how they choose to live. And as appearances, performance, and external validation continue to receive increasing attention, remaining true to one's values becomes one of the most powerful expressions of human strength.